Support for this podcast comes from Is Business Broken, a podcast from BU's Meirotra Institute that explores questions like, why are executives paid so much? Do they deserve it? Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
WBUR Podcasts, Boston.
I'm Daryl C. Murphy, and you're listening to The Comment. So today we're sharing a story from WBUR senior arts and culture reporter Amelia Mason. It's a story where hip-hop, sculpture, and academia meet through arguably one of music's greatest lyricists, Lupe Fiasco.
Big eyes looking like skies and binoculars, two nice lives singing by the opera house, but not in it.
That's the title track from Lupe's 2024 album, Samurai. Now, Lupe is at M.I.T., and he's spending the year there as a visiting scholar, writing new music inspired by the artwork on MIT's campus. I'll let Amelia take it from here.
Lupe Fiasco stands in front of a tall, angular black steel sculpture. It's called The Big Sail by Alexander Calder.
Probably the most iconic piece on campus, right?
3 summers ago, Fiasco sat right here and wrote and recorded a song about the sculpture, which towers 25 feet high.
None of these barricades were here. This truck wasn't here. And I was sitting in the grass right there.
Black structure, steel plates riveted real great in the eye of the beholder. Rivets and wells done well to tie iron to a sculpture.
Fiasco calls this site-responsive music-making process fishing. He was inspired by Impressionist painters and early hip-hop.
So, I'm a big fan of Cezanne. So Cezanne did a lot of en plein air painting. Monet did a bunch of en plein air painting.
And what is en plein air painting?
Painting outside. Cezanne painted the same scene for years. And then, non-traditional ways of capturing rap. Early rap wasn't recorded. It was all, live, in the moment on stage.
Fiasco leads us inside MIT's Stata Center to see a sculpture called Non-Object Plane by Anish Kapoor, a giant curved mirror that flips everything reflected in it upside down.
Even though it's a mirror, it's like a funhouse mirror, and it doesn't really behave as a mirror. Even now, you can't, where we're standing, you can't see yourself.
That's true, yeah.
And then everything's inverted and kind of warped.
Curve whatever you can't work with. That don't mean that it's worthless, just ain't deserving of your workbench is.
Fiasco wrote a song riffing on the reflective qualities of the sculpture, as well as its setting in the Stata Center lobby. As you look at the sculpture, your back is turned to the street, where another piece of public art is visible through the lobby doors.
There's a line at the end that says, if they fought for you, never turn your back on the memory of your soldiers. And it's that piece.
Oh, the one outside?
Yeah.
What is that piece?
So that's a memorial to one of the MIT police officers who was killed in relation to the Boston Marathon bombing.
Reflecting what I cannot be, projecting to my truest self, hope it bounces back like
if they fought for you, never turn your back on the memory of your soldiers. But to see this piece, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, you're turned around, your back is to the memorial.
Take that lesson of you're surrounded by things that have deeper meaning and apply that to your life, to your neighborhood or what have you, right? You'd be surprised what you're turning your back on, chasing something else, observing something else.
Looking for your own reflection.
Yes.
Experiences with Octobers. Put all that in your rear view and fill a fun house with your trophies. Eyes always on the prize. Don't put your energy in the hypnosis. If they fall for you, never turn your back on the memory of your soldiers, yeah.
Fiasco's songs are a good advertisement for MIT's impressive collection of permanent art and architecture, over 50 works. But the rapper says it's about more than bolstering MIT's reputation.
I guess the grander thing is how people interact with the things and the objects in their space. And you see that it's not just random, put there by rich donors for tax write-offs. But then once it's given to the curators and they decide where to kind of put in place, then you realize there's a wider story being told on campus, a very quiet story, but loud and big, but quiet, very subtle.
Lupe Fiasco has released 7 tracks so far. He plans to write a song for every piece of public art at MIT.
And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Common, which is produced by myself and Franny Monahan. It's mixed by Marquise Neal and edited by Yasmin Ammer. And our theme music is Me, from Hisu. And from the newsroom of WBUR, I'm your host, Daryl C. Murphy. I'll talk to you next week.